staffers. Eben Brown, Fox News.
A federal investigation underway into a robo-taxi company's vehicles not operating within the law in Texas.
The National Transportation Safety Board says since the beginning of the 2025-2026 school year, the Austin Independent School District has reported multiple incidents of Waymo's self-driving vehicles passing school buses that are stopped to load and unload student passengers. Waymo issued a software recall last year to address the issue, but the NTSB's preliminary report explains the reports include a January 12th incident noting failure to stop for a school bus displaying visual stop signals is a violation of the Texas Transportation Code. A rep for Waymo previously saying there have been no collisions in the events in question, adding the probe will be an opportunity to provide the NTSB with transparent insights into our safety-first approach. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is threatening to take funding from certain counties he says aren't using his mental health court enough. Care Court rolled out in 8 counties at the end of 2023 and was adopted across the entire state by December of 2024. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Your 710 KURV accurate with the forecast. Becoming cloudy tonight. It'll be breezy and remain warm. The low only down to the mid-70s. A mix of clouds and sun. It'll be windy and very warm again on Wednesday. Highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. Thursday and Friday, variably cloudy, windy and very warm. Highs back to the upper 80s and low 90s both days. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Join News Talk 710 KURV's Sergio Sanchez on The Sergio Show, Wednesday morning starting at 9 from South Texas College in McAllen, featuring the Council of South Texas Economic Progress reveal of their industrial data system. Learn where industries are coming together and how key sectors are evolving and why Rio South Texas is emerging as a strategic platform for increasing investment. Get the inside news Wednesday morning starting at 9 on The Sergio Show on 710 KURV, the pulse of Valley business.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-939-2525. That's 800-939-2525. 800-939-2525.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center in Mission, Texas.
It's your vote that counts.
Are you going to vote?
This is Primary Decision 2026, Election Day results and analysis. Here's Sergio Sanchez.
And along with the entire KURV team and friends and contributors and all that. And I want you to remember this. You're doing online too, right, Joe? Right? Where are you? The YouTube and El Face. All right. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Primary Decision 2026. And don't forget, like your mom said, in the end, we're all winners. Every one of y'all are winners tonight.
That's so not true.
Roman Pettis is joining us tonight, and he's going to carry the Brownsville numbers and the Cameron County numbers. Very interesting races we're watching. We're going to only focus on the top races like Congress and state rep and some of the county seats as well, like chairman, this and that. And so I want to say thank you to Roman Pettis and thank you to the mighty Joe Salinas. who's responsible for all the music beds and commercials and all the pivot and segue music. And Joe is just extremely creative. He doesn't know that other people we actually pay cash for a living. He simply works for the barbecue sandwiches that we serve on election night.
For the thrill of it all.
Zach Cantu is on the other side of the glass. Mijo, he's posting online as much as possible. We'll be here for a couple of hours. That's the plan, because I need my beauty sleep tonight. I got to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning again, do the Dog and Pony Show tomorrow morning. So, yeah, I'm not staying here past 9 o'clock tonight. So we'll look at the early voting numbers and try to get an idea of where we're headed the rest of the night. And we have a ghost in the background, a political ghost in the background, who cannot participate because, well, he's on
his job.
Well, he's on the state payroll, and we'll just put it that he's an elected official. I did offer to do the whole thing. They do like when they interview like a cartel guy, where they pixelate, they blacken out the face, and he changes the voice like this. See, I think Greg Abbott's going to win tonight. But he just didn't want it because they would recognize his
Stop right there.
His dad bod silhouette. They would recognize that as well. And I want to take this time to honor and remember a broadcast legend here at KURV, a mentor and friend. And I'd like to take this moment of silence to remember the legend that was broadcaster, the great Davis Rankin.
I'm not dead.
May he rest in peace. It's almost as we can feel his presence here with us tonight. And I can almost hear his voice. I could swear I've heard his voice a couple of times already opening up.
If I get T-boned and killed driving home tonight. But thank you. Thank you for the sentiment.
Well, that would be I tell you what, but we're making national and international news of that. Well, you make sure, Joe, if you post that and that indeed does happen, make sure you monetize the video because, man, that's going to be like 2 million hits.
I'll park on the railroad tracks to see what happens.
Don't die, Dave.
You've not done anything wrong to Hillary Clinton, have you?
Dave, well, that's right. Turn on my. Is your microphone? Check the switch down there. I think. Joe,
some of our jokes kind of go off the rails.
I want to make sure that Romans is on here. Romans was asking Davis, you didn't do anything bad to Hillary Clinton, so that would be a sure thing. Yeah. So we're waiting for the early vote numbers for Cameron County, for Hidalgo County. Now, some of the big races that we'll be looking at tonight, obviously, for example, Cameron County Judge Democrat side. Cameron County, that's a very interesting race. Cameron County GOP chair, who's going to lead that party. State House 37, both on the Democrat and the Republican side. We have the incumbent, and on the Democrat side, let's see if there's a strong challenger before November.
There's a couple of other Republican side, competitive county commissioner precinct 2 and 4. They're very winnable for Republicans in November, depending on the turnout. So yeah, I'll be looking at those. But there's also a challenge in the Democrat side on County Commission Precinct 2 with Joey Lopez, a longtime incumbent, and having two different opponents. One of them being Joseph Lucio, the nephew of State Senator Eddie Lucio and a cousin of former State Representative Eddie Lucio III. And another gentleman named Martin Arambula, who has been in elected office. I believe he was at the Port of Brownsville at one point.
And Roman Perez, he's going to be looking at the Cameron County numbers from the office as soon as they post those. Again, we're just looking at clear winners with the numbers that come in, or the trends toward maybe a runoff vote. And of course, from Cameron County, we'll be hearing for information for the district. What we're going to have to take, I'm going to have to look at the state Secretary of State's numbers for District 34 Congress, where everybody and their dog is running for that one. But the darling in that race is, obviously, Maida Flores. But let's see. Originally, there were 8 individuals running for Congress, 34 on the Republican side, and 2 bailed. One was, was Scott Mandel, and the other one was Freddie Hinojosa of that political family. But this is Corpus Christi heavy. You and I were talking about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It it leans towards Corpus. So the heavier weight of the vote is in Corpus compared to Brownsville. That's the way it's
in the
redrawn.
in the primary, that's where it is. I mean, the strength is still going to be, I think, Cameron County, because Nueces County, not all of Nueces County is in 34. It's about 50,000. It's, the Harbor Bridge. If you've ever been to Corpus, Salina Monument, all that stuff, downtown Corpus is in now Congressional District 27. The rest of Nueces is in 34. So it's still going to be a centric 420,000, 450,000 people that reside in Cameron County will still be the base of the district in November. But in March, in the Republican primary, it's going to be 52%. I'm going to say 52%, Nueces County. And then the rest, Clayburgh South.
34 is now what? Trump 10?
Yeah, Trump 10. And I mean, that's based on top line numbers. And it honestly doesn't mean anything. Yeah. It really doesn't.
If you look at the lines and look at the vote and how everything came in, that means Donald Trump won the present incarnation of 34 by 10 clicks, which was 55 to 45. Right. That's the way he won it. It doesn't mean anything. Republicans don't vote on election day.
It's interpreted to mean that if Republicans do vote, they should prevail. Correct?
Yes.
And
if they voted for Trump and they show up, yes, they should prevail.
It's not just Republicans; it's independent voters, because independent voters were willing. Hispanic men, in particular, were willing to vote for President Trump last go around. And have they softened? They've turned on President Trump and his administration based off policies that they're not in favor of. I mean, there have been many stories about that.
Well, polling shows they have.
They have, right? And how much? And how much is going to be the question. That's why I'm not sure that
if they don't show up, but the guys who still like Donald Trump show up, then that's how it goes.
Right. Yeah,
with the Republicans. If it's the other way, then
if you look at the Cook political report, they're already now cleaning it. They're calling it a toss-up. It was when they first did the map, they were already leaning likely Republican based off of the old map, but because of new polling, it's showing it's a toss-up. And I'll tell you my personal opinion is if Eric Flores is a nominee for the Republicans, I don't think it'll be a toss-up anymore. It'll be a lean Democrat, because I don't think he plays well to the kind of voters that would ordinarily want to go with somebody like him. And if it's Myra, I think it remains a toss-up. It might even move a little bit to the right, because I personally believe, in conversations with Democrats in Cameron County that are close to Chente, he's not worried about Eric. He's worried about Myra.
That's Roman Perez, along with Davis Rankin. I'm Sergio Sanchez, second to Joe Salinas, and the political ghost behind the scenes, giving us guidance and wisdom all night, imparting to us. I can't wait for you to retire from the court, Vato, so you can come back in the studio and join us for election coverage again. I know. Everybody knows who's behind the scenes. It's the only one to join us here.
They don't know.
Joe, we're going to go to Remy Garza here in a second to give us the comments on the day. So stand by for that one, Joe. And for Hidalgo County, the State House of Representatives, seat 41, which has, of course, three contenders in that one. It's a very interesting race, State House 41. And State House 40 is another one that we'll be looking at tonight. Get the results on State House 41. It's Sergio J. Sanchez. And we will find out tonight if my name means anything, because I was told, hey, a lot of people thought you were running for office. Well, yeah, let's see. Well, maybe they voted for the other guy, because
I don't know why Serge even used his face. Like, what was he doing? What was he thinking? I mean, he would have just been there was an issue.
He's the one with a face for radio, not me.
Exactly.
Right? That's I got you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Roman. Yeah.
He's much younger than you were, too.
Sarah Sagredo Hammond, a local businesswoman, Atlas Electric and AC, a longtime friend of the station. And Gary Groves, who's been a longtime volunteer. He's Mr. Trump train, Gary Groves, and has been a volunteer in the party, behind the scenes worker for the longest time. And as I was opining today, Dave, it's really sad to see how even in our community we got one or two crazy left-wing radical Marxist lunatics, haters out there.
I think we have more than that.
Gary Groves.
He's not one of them.
Gary is the one who wore the MAGA hat on his political science. And that triggered several idiots in the community to go out there, or at least one, to go out there and deface and graffiti and put stupid stuff like...
Can't say it on the radio, probably.
I did this morning. God is gay.
I don't think so, but if God is everything, then maybe there's an aspect of godness.
I did not say that to spur you to go down that path. Come back, Davey. Come back.
I'm trying to be fair.
Come back to the light. Don't you dare profane. There's not a cloud in the sky, but I swear lightning will strike us right now dead if you keep going down that path. Just hold it.
But
they call them a Nazi.
Don't do that to people who volunteer their time, right, left, in between. If people are out working in the system, do not attack Gary Groves because you don't like MAGA. It's ridiculous.
It was the hat. That's the thing that triggered these idiots, fascists and Hitler and whatever. They just put stupid stuff on there.
He's a
for
nice
science.
guy. He's a nice fella.
And I'm glad he kept the signs up for people to see the hate on the left. Well, these Marxists, these idiots, these obvious Democrats, some of them out there. State 40, Memo Gomez, Celeste Cabrera Huff, Vangela Churchill. Most of these folks were part of the program here on KURV. Those are some, and of course the State Board of Education race as well for place 2. That's also interesting. We'll see what the Secretary of State and the local offices will be reporting on that. So stick with us. We're waiting for the early vote numbers to come in from county. We'll throw them at you as soon as we get them. Time is 7:20. This is Primary Decision 2026 on Newstalk 710 KURV. Here's a conversation I had with Remy Garza, our elections administrator for Cameron County. How the day went should have been about half the vote for today. Should have been very busy. Go ahead, Joe. Remy Garza is our elections administrator in Cameron County. We normally say, Remy, about half of the total vote in any election comes in on election day. And, well, we understand we've been kind of busy this season, and a lot more Democrats showing up. And so the numbers are pretty strong. So what was today like, Remy? What do you think compared to other day of votes in the primaries?
Well, we still had a very strong day for election day during a primary. Even though it didn't quite reach that 50% of the overall vote, we still got some really strong numbers for both parties.
Okay. And what are the rules, Remy? At 7 p.m., anybody in line gets to vote. And there might be some long lines here or there in a few places. The early vote number that is posted on your website, is that just early vote, or is it early vote plus mail-in? And will it be released right at 7, or do you wait for the final poll to take in that last straggler that was in line at 7 p.m.?
We like to give the voters a chance to cast their ballots without being influenced by any of the totals. But essentially, as long as we can get them in the buildings and they have their cell phones off, we're ready to move forward with releasing the numbers for early voting. Usually that happens between 7:15 and 7:25, somewhere in that window. Once we're sure that by releasing them, we're not going to influence anybody's vote.
All right. And the early vote is mail-in plus whatever happened all these past couple of weeks, right? That's what you're reporting?
Yeah, usually we'll include whatever mail-in ballots that we've been able to process up until that point. There may be some still that are being worked on by the early voting ballot boards. And so there may be some additional numbers and could only be partial for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. But in all, it's the majority of everything we've been able to process up until 7 o'clock on Tuesday night.
Any glitches, Remy, where I said, oh, crap, we lost this polling location for 2 hours or something like that. And, oh, we got to keep it open for another 2 hours, something like that. Anything bad happen today?
Not really. We had our usual bumps in the morning. Sometimes there would be power outages at locations when we got there, but we were able to get the power restored before 7 o'clock. And then we have generators that we dispatch. So they're the usual things that we go through for an election, but we make sure that we have as little impact on the voters as possible.
And that won't affect the release of information after 7, right? It's not like soccer, right, where they go overtime, with a watch or something, or a clock.
No. In these situations, we usually get everything resolved well before 9 o'clock in the morning, and everything proceeds as normal. Things quiet down at the polling places, and then we just rely on the voters to be patient with us as we process them.
The mail-in vote usually is a very, very small number, and you got ballot board or something like that processing any weird votes or things that need to be decided on. When did that happen already, or is that going to happen soon? Because you still got mail-in votes coming in, or what happens without ballot board making decisions up or down on the crumbs that are left?
Well, right now, the Republican Party had completed all their work. We expect that the Democrats might take a little longer just because they have a lot more ballots to consider. But usually we can get everything resolved, before the 10 o'clock window that we usually shoot for our final results.
Remy Garza, our elections administrator for Cameron County. And I heard something from our colleagues up in Dallas, Texas State. They gave us a report on how the post office was going to change the date stamp, the process on how they date stamp something. It might be in a batch somewhere, but it won't be stamped until it's worked from the bin. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're going to rush it to the stamping machine before midnight to make sure it gets stamped. Did you hear about that change?
We were seeing that people were dropping off their mail at a local post office or at the local mailbox, and the actual postmark not being put on there till about a day or two later.
Wow.
And it can affect when we're going to accept the ballot that arrives after the election, because the postmark has to be on there. That's on or before election night. We've been advising anybody that's called us with concerns about that to make sure that they actually carry it into the post office and get that stamp on it before they actually hand it to the post office.
All right. Next date to watch for this primary is, what is it, Raymond? 28th, May 28th or 26th? What is it, the runoff election?
Yeah, they usually are in that last week of May. So we first have a local election on May 2nd that we'll be dealing with, and then push through to the runoffs for these primaries.
All right. Remy, thank you for always being a phone call away, and go get some rest, brother. I know you deserve it after a long day. Thank you, Remy. That's Remy Garza, our Cameron County Elections Administrator. Let's go to Hidalgo County. Our elections administrator, Hilda Salinas, and it's been a busy day. Appreciate your time, Hilda. So will we hit about 50% of the vote today by the time you're done, or how was the turnout in Hidalgo County?
Well, in comparison to 2024 Election Day March primary voter turnout, we've already surpassed it. In 2024, on Election Day, we had 16,000 people cast their ballot. Today, it's 5:54 p.m., and we have 18,345 people that have voted in person.
Oh, my goodness. There are the typical sites like Lark and probably the Annex and other places that are going to have like long lines at 7 p.m. A lot of stragglers, a lot of voters waiting last minute to vote. So will you be releasing the numbers right after 7 or at 7:15? If everybody is in line without, with their phones turned off, things like that, or are you going to wait for the last voter to cast the vote in Hidalgo County?
Okay, so the way it works is that just as long as a voter is in line by 7 p.m. at the point of the closing, when the polls close, right at 7 p.m. They will be able to cast their ballot. But yes, it's 7 p.m. However, the polling location cannot close until the last person votes.
Yeah.
The last person that was in line at 7 p.m., that's when the polling location can finally close and conduct closing procedures, correct?
Yeah.
So our office cannot post the early voting numbers until all the polling locations close. So we are expecting very high voter turnout we've already surpassed 2024 election day numbers, March primary election day numbers. The top three polling locations with the highest voter turnout is Lark Community Center with number 1, Elections Annex being number 2, UTRGV being number 3.
And any glitches, any problems that might delay the release of the early vote numbers at 7, or we'll just wait for everybody to close? We'll be fine, right? We're not going to have to wait another hour or something.
Everything is currently running great. Again, we cannot post the numbers until all the polling locations do close. So again, we're hoping that everybody already is in line right now and not waiting for the last 5 minutes to, oh my gosh.
You guys that are standing at Lark or at the Annex, you ninnies, you need to find like the other places that are nearby, even out the traffic so we can be done with it at 7 p.m. Hilda, thank you for being a phone call away, and get some rest, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hilda Salinas is our Hidalgo County Elections Administrator. I believe she's a cousin to our producer, Joe Salinas. Right? Right, Joe? Prima, right? Primary decision 2026 on News Talk 710 KURV. Let me flip over to Roman Perez. Roman's been looking at the numbers for Nueces County and Congress 34. and the early vote is in. Read me the raw numbers on 34 because it might be over before it started for Congress 34, and it looks like Eric Flores dominant in the early vote. So going back to that list, see if we can share some of the election numbers with us. So turnout, rosters.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm going to. I'm trying to get that link real quick.
60 some odd percent of the vote of early vote in Nueces County. Again, Congress 34 is dominant in Nueces County and Clayburgh up north of us in the Corpus Christi area. And Eric Flores says over 60%.
Yeah, 61%. Yeah. So in Nueces County, Eric got 61% of the vote with 7,775 votes. Myra received 1,490 votes with 11.8% of 11.8% of the vote.
Is she in second?
Yeah, she's in second.
Yeah.
Third place is actually Luis Buendeo with 973 votes.
Yeah.
And Scott Mandel is in fourth place, who dropped out in January. And he has 894 votes and 7.08% of the vote. And another person that withdrew out of the race, Freddie Hinojosa, he received 609 votes at 4.83% of the vote.
All right.
And so, yeah.
With 60 some odd percent of the vote, that is a very nice fat cushion in that race where you can say, if it's over 60% in the early vote, that does not look good at all, especially where the congressional seat is dominant.
What are the other parts of that district? It doesn't come down all the way to Brownsville.
Well, it is Brownsville.
It's all
Cameron
Brownsville.
County. It's
Oh,
Brownsville.
34.
So that's
All
the
right.
new part of 34. And so the new part of 34, like we were talking about earlier, in order for somebody to win, if let's say they get 30% in Nueces County, but they get like 60% in the old part of 34, somebody could win. But if somebody's getting 60% over in Nueces County, but they get 30% in the old part of 34, they also would win without a runoff. So that's basically the dynamic is what I would argue. So
the day of vote will probably be very similar. We've seen that trend like forever and a day.
100%. Yeah.
So what did you say? 66%? How much?
61%.
61%.
So it's rare for the day of vote to be the opposite of the early vote.
Well, it's also
not
include,
common.
Yeah, this will include. It happens very.
But the early vote is typically the determinant.
Right.
In the race.
And you see, you have the early vote and you have the mail-in ballot, which is what these numbers are combined, and they will account for about 60% of the total vote. And an election day will be about 40% of the vote, depending on what happens. So yeah, it's pretty much determinant, but it doesn't mean everything because you can actually have election and you can have early vote combined together, and win those, but lose the mail-in ballot. It happens. It happened to Monica De La Cruz in 2020. It actually happened to Myra Flores in 2024 when she won election and early vote, but lost mail-in ballot.
Okay, so the mail-in ballots are being
included.
Well, are they including those in the early vote? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Early vote includes the mail-in vote.
All right.
And
all right. So
we have numbers even now in Cameron County.
Okay.
Again, it's done. Eric Flores will win Cameron County with 51% of the vote with 4,443 votes. Myra will come in second with 3,336 votes and 38.42% of the vote. And third place will be a massively distant Luis Buendeo at 245 votes, 2.82% of the vote. So by that alone, Eric is going to win without a runoff.
Republican nominee Eric Flores, the one that President Trump he endorsed, will be the winner for Congress 34 on the GOP side. He will take on Vicente Chente Gonzalez on the Democrat side. The time is 7:33. We'll take a look at some of the other big popular races of the night. So stick around. Let's go pay some bills. This is Primary Decision 2026 on News Talk 710 KURV. Along with the team, we got Roman Perez. We got Davis Rankin.
The award-winning team.
Right. Thank you for that reminder, by the way. And we're award-winning because of the mighty Joe Salinas, who puts everything together. Miko, my radio son. We got Zach Cantu in the background posting online. Did I mention you, Davey?
Yes.
I didn't forget you, right? Okay. I'm sorry, I
wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
I'm more forgetful than you are.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Doggone it.
What is it that you always like to say to me? I'm going to stab you. I'm going to stab you there.
You haven't provoked me enough for me to want to stab you.
Let's stick around. It is Primary Decision 2026 on Newstalk 710 KURV. And producer Joe is also putting us on, Facebook Live and 710 KURV YouTube Live.
Join News Talk 710 KURV's Sergio Sanchez on The Sergio Show, Wednesday morning starting at 9 from South Texas College in McAllen, featuring the Council of South Texas Economic Progress reveal of their industrial data system. Learn where industries are coming together and how key sectors are evolving, and why Rio South Texas is emerging as a strategic platform for increasing investment. Get the inside news Wednesday morning starting at 9 on The Sergio Show on 710 KURV, the pulse of Valley business.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need the Social Security report. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Hi, this is Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. We make the amazing Solaire infrared gas grills that are built to last and will consistently deliver better than restaurant grilled food. The Solaire infrared burner heats up to 1,000 degrees in just 3 minutes, even in the dead of winter. The high heat locks in the juices and flavor and grills food faster. Learn more about these fantastic USA-made grills at BestHotGrill.com. Solaire, hot, fast grills at BestHotGrill.com.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need the Social Security report. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
Fox News, I'm Angelo Bavaro. The State Department working to evacuate Americans from the Middle East. Fox's Jared Halpern.
About 9,000 Americans have been able to leave the Middle East since the start of airstrikes on Saturday, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio says there are 1,500 more looking for assistance to get out.
The impediment we're facing now, in many cases, we've had a couple instances in which we have planes in the air and on the way, and unfortunately the airspace gets closed and they have to turn back around.
Hundreds are reportedly dead in Iran following the barrage of strikes from the U.S. and Israel.
A near total internet blackout has cut the nation off from the world as the regime moves to squash internal dissent. Tehran is described by residents as an eerie ghost city.
Fox's Brian Yanis. U.S. Central Command says the U.S. has severely degraded Iran's air defenses. America is listening to Fox News.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast becoming cloudy tonight. It'll be breezy and remain warm. The low only down to the mid-70s. A mix of clouds and sun. It'll be windy and very warm again on Wednesday. Highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. Thursday and Friday, variably cloudy, windy and very warm. Highs back to the upper 80s and low 90s both days. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission. This is Primary Decision 2026 on News Talk 710 KURV. And on the Radio Parami app, here's Sergio Sanchez.
Along with the team, we got Roman Pettis taking a look at areas north of us, and of course, Cameron County as well. Davis Rankin, the legend, the living legend, who's still with us, by the way. I'm sorry about all.
If I wasn't living, I would be the dead legend.
Yeah.
The dead legend. Gotta get close to the microphone.
No, you'd still be living, though, for eternity. That's right, though. But you're part of the frozen chosen, so yeah, that's no hope for you. On that
it's foreordained.
Yeah,
it's already decided.
What is it? One of those.
It was decided from the beginning of time.
What is Episcopalian, Presbyterian?
Presbyterian. They're Calvinists.
Yeah.
Catholics are not.
You have like a little storage room.
I don't think Baptists or most Baptists.
It's
are
like
not.
a storage room sized building there on somewhere around mile 2, right?
It's not. Just because you go to
Mammoth. Sorry. I'm going to back the truck up on that one. We're going down. We're down.
It rivals
down
the Catholics.
Zach on 2 behind the scenes posting. Miko's posting on social media and eating something from McDonald's, and of course the barbecue sandwich that we got tonight, thanks to Ace's Barbecue, which is delicious barbecue, but it's really good, and the mighty Joe Salinas. So Cameron County, we can tell you with a high degree of confidence that Congress 34 Republican candidate will be Eric Flores, son of Kino Flores, former state representative, who I did not know Eric Flores was his son. I think I told you the story, right, David?
No.
I was Delano and the boys were at the mall.
Huh?
I had not seen Kino in forever and a day, like decades.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
He hasn't changed any, right? And of course, I never made the connection because, Kino,
he's a good-looking guy.
Well,
or was.
Kino is Kino, right? I'm just, face for radio, Kino. Eric Flores, well, he's, polished, pretty boy. He looks like mom, right?
Very attractive.
He did.
I'm just saying.
Did you notice that, Joe? How you say he's very attractive?
I think he could do one of those calendars.
Now we know he's retiring.
Were you quivering when you said he's very attractive? What was all that about, David?
That concerns me, David.
The truth is, most people in politics are not like they're not calendar material. They have other virtues.
Enough beating up on David.
So he's a lawyer. He's also a veteran, and he's a hunk of burning love. It's not his fault. That's the way he came. He was made that way.
David, can you stop?
Can you please
stop?
The more I talk, I get.
He gets more nervous. The more nervous David
I'm very
gets.
uncomfortable. You're not the one sitting next to him.
Phobes you are. Say somebody's
don't worry, his hands they're on his neck right now. So as long as his hands don't go below the desk, then you'll be okay.
I choked myself.
Zach Cantu is posting online, and Jocelyn, of course, managing. So other numbers from
so Republican, Democrat. You tell me what you want.
Republican, because we'll look at State House 37 first of all.
Well, because we don't have Willacy County numbers, but we do have Janie Lopez.
Those will be very small numbers.
Yeah, very small. Well, yeah, a little bit. So Janie Lopez, just in Cameron County, and she doesn't have all of Cameron County, just a portion of Cameron County. She has all of Willacy County, but Willacy County doesn't have a lot of voters on the Republican side. So pretty much who kind of wins Cameron will more than likely win based on numbers.
Yes, sir.
So Janie Lopez received 3,510 votes, or 69.71% of the vote. And Kristen Lucky received 1,525 votes, or 30.29% of the vote.
Okay.
So Janie will be renominated, and she'll be facing off whoever the Democrats nominated in House District 34.
That's where I defer to you, man, because the Democrats.
And so in House District 37, on the Democrat side, They're probably going to go into a runoff, and I say probably. Give me a second. I lost the scroll where they are. There they are. The House District 37. You see that includes, like I said, all of Willacy, and we don't have any, and there'll be a lot of Willacy County voters
down into Brownsville itself.
Now outside of Brownsville, it doesn't have any part of Brownsville.
Okay,
just on the outside of 511 essentially.
All right.
Anyway, so because you have that, Ozzy Ochoa out of Cameron County received 3,699 votes, or 44.93% of votes. So he's close to 50%.
Okay.
But if he takes Willacy County by a good chunk, he might be able to get over. And unfortunately,
does it break it down in percentages?
No, yeah, but again, it's 44.93%. But he's close if he does really, really well.
Well, he needed a significant turnout,
right? Exactly.
On the day of, I don't know.
Well, not the day of. I'm just talking about early vote, because we don't have any early vote from Willacy County at all yet. I've been checking the website; they don't have anything. But he could teeter it. And in second place, which does a little surprise me, considering she'd been, not made. Her signs are not the best signs in the world, but she had a very good, interesting story, and that's Esmeralda Esme Cantu Castle. Her daughter was the Navy sailor woman who was murdered.
The chef, the cook, right?
The one that was murdered, yeah. From the valley, and that's her mom, and she's running on the Democrat side.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, well, that's why you have me on the show.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Do we have an extra sandwich to give?
No.
On the way home
just have me more on the radio. I might
sandwich?
need a job soon.
Wow.
So, it's okay. I hear there might be an opening. I'm just kidding.
Gacho.
Oh man. Yeah.
Esto se llama gacho.
Oh, Davey.
Repite.
Okay, we've been doing this a while, David. We can do this. Almost a decade. I think over a decade.
Is she in second?
She's in second. And
for State House 37 Democrat side, how far behind is she?
She is like 1,000 votes. But the person in third place is doing pretty good because she has 1,851. She has 22% of the vote. So you got 44, 32, 22. So if there's going to be a runoff, it's not going to be Stephanie Bauer in the runoff. It's going to be Ochoa versus Cantu Castle. If there's a runoff, assuming that Ochoa doesn't do well in Willacy County. And that really is a fascinating race because I'm being very serious. The politicos were very much making fun, Democrat politicos were making fun of her signs. Like, she's nothing, no trae nada. I mean, I'm sorry for my Spanish. I'm knowing on English, but that's what they were saying. Even today.
Just the story behind the name, behind the face, just that story alone, that's gold in politics. Now, I'm surprised that, look, I'm in the newsroom. And imagine all the information. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I know you're much a bigger known when it comes to politics, but the fact that we didn't see it, we didn't hear about it in such an obvious place like a newsroom like this means that she didn't capitalize on it, and she needed to, and she might be able to in a runoff to get her above, because that's a very emotional, sentimental story that evokes so much sympathy. It could.
Now the reason this matters is if they go into a runoff, they're gonna spend some money. But when this district was drawn originally, it was a Biden +2 seat when they drew it. When Janey was able to win in 2022, that was because a lot of it was because $1 million pumping in, number one. And you also had, the second thing was you had that Republican trickle wave that happened in 2022 that allowed her to win. But then you had a presidential election year. Yeah. And then she was able to beat the person that ran against her, Jonathan
Garcia. Carpet bombing. I remember Janey was every single hour, like twice an hour. And that was a big buy. I don't know who spent money on her.
So I'm not saying Janey's going to lose in November. I'm not predicting that. But, when you talk to Democrats, they tell you we have a shot here because we believe it's going to be an opposite wave. Like we had in 2022, we're going to have an opposite wave. You have Gina Hinojosa, who's going to be the nominee for the governor, for the Democrats, the governor's side from Cameron County, or, her family's from Cameron County. Yeah. And she lived now in the Austin area. And so that's going to play a role. Depending on who the Democrats nominate for U.S. Senate could play a role. If we're going to look at something a little bit different in 2026, you look at the astronomical turnout. I mean, on the Democrat side, you had a record turnout in Hidalgo County and in Cameron County. In Hidalgo County, their numbers were 50,000, just an early vote, 50,000 this year versus 30,000 in 2024 in a presidential election year. Yeah. I mean, you had record turnout. This is akin to what happened in 2020 with a presidential, which was the record turnout for both Democrat and Republicans in both counties. if I'm a Republican, I'm worried. And
they should be.
And they should be worried. They really
Because
should.
most of the populace or the voting bloc that represents the Republican Party is in it for Trump and nobody else.
Right.
They don't give a flip. Look what happened in Senate 9 up in the Fort Worth area. They stayed home. Only 15% of the vote turned out. It was all Democrat, and the Republican nominee was trounced up there, and they flipped that seat. And they keep saying, "Oh, don't worry, Republican will win in November." Oh, don't be so sure about that.
If Iran doesn't go like it intended or planned,
God help us.
People
Lord help
still
us.
stay unhappy, but according to polling results, stay unhappy with.
No, I hear you. That's all negative, and it just drags the vote.
And
The people stay home.
Democrats get jazzed up. The Republicans get down in the dumps, and
They're already in the dumps because Donald Trump is not on the ticket, and they don't need. They think they don't need to show up to vote, and that's where it really hurts.
I mean, I don't
do
want
they
to
really think that? I don't know. I'm sorry.
turnout in the Republican primary in both Hidalgo County and Cameron County and Oasis County. It was record turnout for them.
It was strong, yes.
But but that's like saying
you need to see it strong in rural Texas and the piney woods and the red dirt soil of West Texas. You need to see it with the heart of the state. And somebody at a political science, U of H or some other office, SMU, they'll be looking at those numbers to see what the turnout was for Republicans. State Board of Education, place 2. Victoria Hinojosa, the wife of Senator Adam Hinojosa.
Well, I mean, there's like 22 counties in that race, so you can't just. I would have to go to each and every one, but she's doing very well in both. Hidalgo County.
The most populous, though, would be
Cameron and Oasis County. She's doing really well. She's
yeah.
also doing very well in Clayburgh County. She might be able to pull it off without a runoff potentially because of what's going on.
The way things are going, and these are the Cameron County numbers. She's at 55, almost 56%,
right,
with a vote in Cameron County. And as she said, she's doing good up in the Corpus Christi area.
Incumbent base is in Oasis County, right, Francis?
Right. LJ Francis is the incumbent. He might be eliminated by tonight if Victoria Hinojosa, wife of Adam Hinojosa, Republican state senator, if she wins the nomination, then LJ Francis will not be the nominee come November. And
Democrats are going to nominate
Are you
Thomas.
familiar how that one is drawn? I mean, LJ Francis won at the last go around. Is it?
I mean, LJ just didn't run a very good race. I mean, I really,
But how is it carved? Is it for a Republican to win?
A Republican should win, and I've actually been following this particular map since 2010, sorry. We could have won it previously, but we just didn't because of Palanca. Palanca is what hurt us very, very badly. If you have a wave election in Cameron County and Hidalgo County and they vote Democrat, they will outnumber and we're going to lose the seat potentially. And that could be why people are interested in voting for Victoria Hinojosa. And the amount of money was spent by her. They did text messages, direct mail. She was the only one who did it. Frankly, I think the ghost that was here earlier would probably agree with me. The question is going to not necessarily Nueces County; it's everything above Nueces County. Do they vote for Hinojosa? That has been an issue for Republicans for a very, very long time. The white last name versus Spanish surname. I mean, it does.
Just shook it down to the cob, brother.
Yeah, and it's not a racist thing to say that. I mean, we've had this issue for a long, long time. The late great Carlos Costos would make the same argument that I'm making right now. So the question is she going to continue to do well north of Hidalgo County? She's white though. She's white. But she has a Hispanic
I wasn't
last
going to
name.
bring that up, but she's a good-looking blonde woman, tall woman.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they ran a very, very different race.
You keep picking on me, but they'll tell
You're
you
overcompensating way too much, Davis.
What? The guilty fleeth when no man pursueth?
No, you still have. You still can't make up for the earlier. Oh, he's so gorgeous. The whole thing that with Eric.
My heart went.
But you want to go back to since we have no numbers in Hidalgo County. I wish we did to be able. I know a lot of y'all waiting for.
She ought to do well because she's a Republican, and that north of there is not going to be Democrat.
I think she's going to be fine. You know why? Because Adam is a political genius, and his brother, the Hinojosa clan, this it's in their blood. It's their DNA.
They're down here.
That family. She belongs to that family. The Hinojosa political consultant families. They've run elections left and right. So you don't.
I didn't know that. But they're not. They're not these Ruben Hinojosa, H&H Meats.
No. From there, it's Adam Hinojosa.
Yeah,
and his brother, and their father, or some of the more successful political consultants. Remember tort reform back in the early 2000s? They pushed that for the governor back then. And so they have experience in this. That's all I want to say. They have plenty of experience in running campaigns. I think she'll be fine in State Board of Education for place 2. Cameron County Republican chairman. There were some numbers.
Yeah, I gave you the number. I think I gave it to you, but I'll read them right here. No worries, I'll read them. Let me find them very quickly. Oh, there's also Cameron County Commissioner Precinct 4 on the Republican side. They have contested primary. Oscar Guerra is going to be the nominee. Oscar Guerra had 1,444 votes with 59% of the vote. Ricardo Rick Bailly had exactly 1,000 votes at 40.92% of the vote. Congratulations, Oscar. You're the nominee. And then there's down below county chair. That was a little bit close. Again, this will
Republican
on the Republican side, Republican county chair, very contested. You have Jim Birschbach with 4,128 votes at 52.64% of the vote. And you have Lorraine De Leon at 3,708 votes, which is 47.36% of the vote. This will include mail-in ballots and early vote totals completely. Does not include day of. We don't have an idea from the elections office how much early vote came in. But being within 53-47, which is what the rounding would be, is still within the realm of possibility Lorraine can make up ground. Highly unlikely.
Yes.
Highly unlikely. But it is,
the day of vote will be just south of 50%.
Right.
And the turnout for her needed to be like 1.5 for every one that came in for Jim. And that's not trending. So
it's not. But, it's very I mean, we're talking about only 400 votes difference.
Let me tell you what's going to make the difference for him. And just a plug. I told every single not every single Republican candidate, but I told every Republican candidate that I had a chance to speak with, I was crowing on behalf of this radio station. This radio station is the radio station of Rush Limbaugh. This radio station is the radio station of Charlie Kirk. This radio station is all the names who are voices for the conservative movement. Some people, even good friends of the community who are Democrats and business people and builders. Oh, that's the Republican station, but they still advertise with us because they're trying to reach.
It's not just the Republican station. It's for people who are interested. Well, you didn't ask me, but it's for people who are involved with the community, who have an interest in the community, want to see the community improve. Some are Republicans, some are Democrats, and some we don't know what they are.
We index highest in voting. We index highest for the GOP as well. This is the sounding board and the only media that communicates directly on a daily basis to those folks who are Republican. And I told them don't you be wasting your money on, say if you clear the primary, well, go down the street, advertise a little bit with Rock and Roll James at Q94, go to KVOY, go to other stations, and do whatever you want. But in the primary, as a Republican, you want to reach the base, you carpet bomb KURV. And you tell the working people, like around here, like 15,000 Republicans. See, this is what made the difference for Robert Cantu, the current chairman for Hidalgo County. There was a very popular movement for another candidate back then, and it has a lot of energy behind it. In the end, Robert was the only one who advertised on KURV the final week and a half of the campaign and said, I'm the one. He, of the 10,000, 11,000 votes that came in, he only won by 800 votes, but he cleared it. Jim Birschbach is the only one who's been on KURV yesterday, today. So anybody that voted today and went to the polls, I remember Jim saying he's running for Cameron County Republican chairman. I think that's what makes the difference on the election day.
The name gets in their brain. Pega.
I remember
that's how we vote.
And there's a real debate amongst consultants out of Austin throughout the state. There was an interesting article from the Texas Bullpen. I think I mentioned them earlier. They were talking about what they believe how you advertise, and they feel that talk radio isn't something you should be advertising. I disagree with that. I wholeheartedly disagree with that, and I don't get paid by you to come out on the radio. But I tell every Republican, if you're not advertising on KURV, you're making a massive mistake. I don't care if you're in Cameron County,
especially in the primary.
Right? It's like you're doing a disservice to yourself. And you're not that expensive. I don't believe you are.
It's a gimmick for repeat, repeat like all day long to own it. Yeah, absolutely.
And anybody who doesn't do that, I think is doing themselves a disservice. And that's just that's my personal opinion.
In the general election, you will not receive an argument from me. You could buy certain stations, try to find some that that index a certain way. But in the Republican primary, if you are not in talk radio up in Corpus Christi, carpet bombing. If you're not in talk radio down here, carpet bombing, then you're wasting your money. You're wasting your money.
Kids don't matter in the primary, right? The kids stations.
I'm joking. What happens sometimes with these?
Direct mail.
Yeah, direct mail.
I told everybody, direct mail only the addresses that are strong GOP.
Right.
And KURV, and texting directly to the numbers that are on the database of the Republican voters.
Yeah.
Just go boom, 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 hit those.
And that's it.
That's it.
I mean, but
primary.
In the primary, yeah, and that's just, I mean, just to look at the 34 race. I mean, that is an issue, and that should have never happened. And that's why, you know, you do the block walking, you think you're doing well. People could just be telling you, yeah, we're going to vote for you. We already voted for you. We love you. We love you. But that they could just be lying to your face, but they're listening to talk radio and being carpet bombed, like you're saying. It's just, you don't do that. And sometimes you listen to the wrong consultants. I mean, you have people who support you and you don't listen to them, and it's, you know, it's.
No, the bad thing is these days, a bunch of young kids that just left college.
Right, yeah.
They're only in love.
You told me that I need to charging people to do, like, it's not complicated.
Right, there we go. They're in love with social media. Okay, so we got a few seconds left this hour. This is Primary Decision 2026 on Newstalk 710 KURV. Eric Flores will be the Republican nominee for Congress, and he will challenge Vicente Gonzalez in Congress 34, the clear winner tonight in this Republican primary. Jim Birchbach is in the lead for Republican Party chair in Cameron County. Yeah, Cameron County numbers, that's all we got, and we're hoping to get Hidalgo County numbers next hour, so stick around.
History is unfolding, and you're listening to it on News Talk 710 KURV, Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville.
A success so far. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News Central Command with an update on U.S. strikes in Iran.
Admiral Brad Cooper, CENTCOM's commander, posted an update on X to say U.S. and Israeli forces are taking out Iran's strike-back capabilities. By the numbers, they've hit
17 Iranian ships, including the most operational Iranian submarine that now has a hole in its side.
They've also targeted missile facilities toward the goal, as Admiral Cooper said,
shooting all the things that can shoot at us.
The admiral said the effort is literally just beginning. President Trump has not put an end date on the action in Iran so far and has indicated there will be an escalation in the assault on several targets.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The president says the strikes prevented attacks from Iran.
If we didn't do what we're doing right now, you would have had a nuclear war and they would have taken out many countries, because you know what? They're sick people.
The president said it's not clear who will be the new leader of Iran after the death of the supreme leader, but it could be someone from within the country. All polls now closed in Texas, where there's a Senate primary.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and State Representative James Tallarico are seen as the primary frontrunners for the Democratic nomination. Crockett is a liberal firebrand known for sparring with Republicans. She's been endorsed by former Vice President Kamala Harris, but Tallarico argues Crockett's combative style could sink Democrats' chances of winning a Senate seat in the Lone Star State for the first time since 1988. Meantime, incumbent GOP Senator John Cornyn is fighting to keep his role as he fends off challenges from Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Congressman Wesley Hunt.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. In North Carolina, Trump-backed Republican Michael Whatley has won the nomination, and former Governor Roy Cooper takes the Democratic side. This contest is for the seat currently held by Republican Tom Tillis, who is not running for re-election. America's listening to Fox News.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem grilled by a Senate panel over immigration tactics, as some lawmakers from both parties have called for her to resign or be removed.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem telling the Senate Judiciary Committee that border encounters under President Trump have reached the lowest levels in recorded history, that more than 3 million illegal immigrants, including 1,500 known or suspected terrorists, have been removed from the U.S.
Our priority is going to continue to go after those worst of the worst and to make sure that we are getting them out of our country as soon as possible and brought to justice if they've committed crimes here.
Democrats criticizing the agency's handling of ICE action in Minnesota, including 2 deadly shootings involving federal agents, as DHS continues to go unfunded in a partial government shutdown over Democrats' demands for ICE reforms. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Meanwhile, the state of Minnesota has launched an investigation that could bring charges against federal officers who were accused of misconduct during the immigration crackdown. The prosecutor says her office is already investigating 17 incidents, including one where Border Patrol official Greg Bovino threw a smoke canister at officers. DHS says state cannot prosecute federal officers. A new study on breast cancer finds more younger women being diagnosed.
The study predicts new breast cancer cases globally will rise by a third to 3.5 million by 2050. It's still much more common in older women, but the rate of breast cancer diagnoses in women under 55 is up 29% since 1990, according to this worldwide study published in The Lancet Oncology. The rate in women 55 and up stays flat. Researchers point to several factors for the rise in younger women, including earlier menstruation in girls, a delay in motherhood, and a rise in red meat consumption in more countries.
Fox's Chris Foster. Wall Street, the Dow lost 403, the Nasdaq off 232, the S&P minus 64. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Your 710 KURV accurate weather forecast. Becoming cloudy tonight. It'll be breezy and remain warm. The low only down to the mid-70s. A mix of clouds and sun. It'll be windy and very warm again on Wednesday. Highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. Thursday and Friday, variably cloudy, windy and very warm. Highs back to the upper 80s and low 90s both days. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Join News Talk 710 KURV's Sergio Sanchez on The Sergio Show, Wednesday morning starting at 9 from South Texas College in McAllen, featuring the Council of South Texas Economic Progress reveal of their industrial data system. Learn where industries are coming together and how key sectors are evolving and why Rio South Texas is emerging as a strategic platform for increasing investment. Get the inside news Wednesday morning starting at 9 on The Sergio Show on 710 KURV, the pulse of Valley business.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center in Mission, Texas.
It's your vote that counts.
Are you going to vote?
This is Primary Decision 2026, Election Day results and analysis. Here's Sergio Sanchez.
Thank you for joining us online as well. It's 710 KURV YouTube Live and 710 KURV Facebook Live. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with the mighty Joe Salinas. Miko, my radio son. He's got a buffet of all sorts of delicious stuff on there. He has his own food over there. He's posting online. Miko's the one's probably going to be working late tonight because... Yeah, Davis Rankin, he's the one snickering.
I won't be working.
Yeah.
No, Zach is happy to hear
and
that.
Roman Pettis, we've been looking at, and we're likely this hour will only be reporting what we see as far as state stuff. The big races in the state. Of course, the power is in the Republican side there and the infighting there. And from Cameron County and Oasis County, like things like state representative and Congress, I just got off the phone during the break. We spoke with Hilda Salinas, the elections administrator for Hidalgo County. 22,632 people so far have been counted at voting today. That is a high water mark for Hidalgo County. Everybody's jazzed. And the Republicans showed up strong. Democrats showed up strong. The problem between Democrats and Republicans in Hidalgo County is that there's a 5-to-1 ratio. For every 5 Democrats, there's 1 Republican. And all camps showed up. Beat numbers from 2024, 2022.
All
They're
hands
off the
on
charts.
deck.
Yeah, a lot of people voting. They're all jazzed up. They're all excited and voting today. I don't know if it's a reflection of the headlines. I don't know if it's a reflection of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know what it is, but they're all out there. They're all jazzed up. And at 7:30, Hilda, our elections administrator, said she had 4 locations. At 7:30, 30 minutes ago, she had 4 popular voting locations that were out the door.
Still?
Yes, 120 to 130 people still in line at 4 separate high traffic locations. We will not, she said, we will not see the early vote number for Hidalgo County till maybe 9 or 9:30, which for me, 9 o'clock, I'll be saying, bye, Joe. Bye, Nico. Keep posting online.
Is that why you said just call me at home when you get the results?
Yeah, no, that's, and Roman just chided me and said, you know what? Come November, we're probably going to have to take election coverage to 10:30.
Well, not just in November. We're going to have a runoff.
Well, the runoff will be easier
bit, maybe.
on May 26th.
Well, this is what the good government people, the civics people say. We say get out and vote, and then we get swamped because people don't do it. And then they turn up. This is what you kind of want.
Yeah.
Right. You want active participation in how we govern ourselves.
Preach it, brother.
Doggone it.
Hallelujah.
They died for this right. Somebody did anyway. We're bombing people who won't let their people vote.
Black church organ playing.
Well, it's true.
Right.
Yeah.
As corny as it is true.
This will be your final day that you can use davis@kurv.com as an email to complain to Davey, because today will be his last.
I'll come to your meeting and harangue you.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you want me to harangue them about.
Okay, let's go back to the numbers. We could talk foolishness here for a while.
Democrat county judge in
go.
Cameron County.
We didn't even touch that.
We didn't touch that one earlier. I'm sorry.
Sorry, gang. That's only
That might be one of the
That's one of the marquee races for Cameron County.
And it's kind of nasty. I mean, we have pictures of Eddie Trevino as a rat on billboards, on little signs. We've had memes with AI where Eddie is a rat, saying these things. We've had Steve Guerra, who has been made into, I guess, a warthog. Those kinds of signs. I mean, it's being
children behave children. Okay, numbers.
Okay.
Democrat Party
primary.
Democrat, the
incumbent is Eddie Trevino Jr. County judge Eddie Trevino Jr. 9,938 votes, with 44.41% of the vote. Esteban Steve Guerra, everybody calls him Steve. He has 6,971 votes at 31.15% of the vote. Okay. And Eric Garza is at 5,468 votes with 24.44% of the vote.
There you go.
So,
spoiler.
So the Democrat, the issue with Steve is this. Steve waited to decide what he was going to do. Okay. There was rumors about the possibility of him running as a Republican. There were people, he had meetings with Republicans. He had all over the place. He was thinking about it. He was talking to Republicans about possibly running as a Republican. But what he didn't want to see was a Mauro Garza running.
Sorry. I know you're a nerd when it comes to all this stuff. Now I'm going to really test it. Steve Guerra, did he have a voting record as a Republican?
No, he was actually a Democrat precinct chair.
Okay.
So no, but switching over, being an elected official is something that we look for, I mean, that's what we want.
He's now on the navigation district.
He's the chairman of the board of. He has the right hand man. Many believe he's the right hand man, or very, very close to Chente Gonzalez. So the idea of him switching parties was very not likely, right? But he was considering it, right? And so he decides to run as a Democrat. Files on the last day, the same day that Eric Garza, the former sheriff who had just been ousted 2 years ago by Manuel Trevino, in a runoff. And so he jumps in the last minute to run, and they're going to go after Eddie. And it has been a very, very nasty primary. He really is. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, the perception was from Democrats whose sources, look, I mean, I make predictions based off what people tell me. Okay. And I try to get the best opinions. And if somebody's going to tell me, hey, we're block walking, we're getting this, I'm going to believe it because, they have a track record with me of being good sources. Right. And so Eddie, I would have thought that Eddie was going to win without a runoff. But then you saw the turnout. wave election you're seeing. And usually these kinds of things mean we're not happy with incumbents. And so there were 3 county-wide races in Cameron County that were incumbents with a challenger. You had the county judge race, you had the county clerk's race, and you have the county treasurer's race. And we're going to see right now, you're going to have a runoff in the Eddie Trevino race because you had 3 people in there. You're going to see county clerk, longtime county clerk, Sylvia Garza, she's going to win. She is, for my money, Robert Benny. She is the best campaigner, bar none, to anybody on the Republican or Democrat side. She's just good. I mean, she comes from a political
work
family.
a room or have a good
she works the
message.
room.
Or,
Yeah. She works the room. She knows who you are. She will call you.
She's got that kind of a memory.
Yeah, and she is the kind of person that she's always on your side when you win. She was even on your side when you lost. You know, that's the kind of person she is, and she knows how to work a room. There's nobody better than her.
She's at 62% right now.
Yeah, she's gonna beat Denise Garza. But you're gonna have an upset in the county treasurer's race. If you get the number, you can read it for me.
Jonathan Garcia.
Gracia.
You're right, Gracia. 54.85% of the vote, 11,648, and David Betancourt, which is a big name in
Betancourt. I mean, his father was a judge. His sister is a judge.
There was a JP back in the day named Betancourt.
Yeah,
same family.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's Laura Betancourt is a judge, and so David's been a longtime county treasurer running against Jonathan Gracia, who, by the way, Jonathan Gracia was considering switching parties, and then he decided to run as a Democrat in this seat, and so he's going to win. He is a block walking machine, and so he's going to be the nominee. He's going to upset David Betancourt. And we're going to see, again, is this a wave election, anti-incumbency? People they're tired of the old, in with the new. You're seeing Democrats do that. I mean, we had the ousting of Eric Garza, but he himself had beaten the previous sheriff.
So the unhappiness expected and forecast for this coming November is being seen now in the
Democrat side, yes. And so they're youthful energy. But you're not seeing that in Cameron County when it comes to like the congressional race on the Democrat
side.
This
is like the race, though, because a lot of these seats at county they have no Republicans. So that's it.
Well, no. And we do have a county clerk candidate on the Republican side. We have a county treasurer candidate on the Republican side. We have a county judge candidate
as well. I'm looking at the raw numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, people don't need to vote in favor of anybody if they're unopposed. For example, I'll give you an example. Mauro Garza running for Cameron County judge on the Republican side. He got 7,000 some odd votes. You look at what Eddie has and Steve has, and then Eric has in the Democrat side. Let's see, 9 plus 6, that's 15, plus that's 20,000. 20,000 Democrat votes versus 7 for the Republican. And again, it's unopposed, but that shows you how everything is weighted toward the Democrat. Yeah. So, stick a fork in it.
It's still an uphill battle is what you're saying.
It is. But look, there is really a change. There's a wave happening. Even look at the congressional race on the Democrat side in Cameron County. You had Chente Gonzalez. He only got 63% of the vote. And he was running against, for what I would call, my word, not his, I'd call him a commie. I call him a Democrat socialist. He is very, very leftist. Etienne Rosas, and he received 36%.
He's a Democratic Socialist, he says he's a
and so he's 37% of the vote in Cameron County. So did they vote that? Are these Republicans voting there just to stick it to Chente? No. Is that where the party is?
Supposedly, the Democratic Socialist is growing in Democratic precincts. Younger people are identifying as socialists.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
I mean, and that's
scary,
the deal.
Buddy. That really is scary.
Look, like that
university vote, young ones, young communists.
I don't know about but I've seen some of Etienne Rosas' stuff. He's a young guy. He's attractive. Good campaign. Good. Everything looks good.
Stuff. This is attractive. You're attractive.
Because it's worth. I realize I need that, but it is worth a point or two. It used to be when I was in bottom. It was worth a point or two in general election. But
Davey, you're scaring me, dude.
Well, let's take somebody who's butt ugly. See how they did. But my point was less his physical attractiveness than was an attractive look to the campaign.
Charismatic.
The campaign material looked good.
Yeah.
And he has a message. The Democratic Socialists have a message that's very right there, coherent. You don't have to agree with it, but you can't go, I wonder what they believe.
Did you notice, Davey? Actually, what am I doing? I'm asking Davis a question related to look. I made an observation on the Republican side.
All right.
There was, and we'll talk about some of the state stuff here pretty soon. A long list of candidates for governor. Long list of some, right? It's like I don't know if here in Hidalgo County, it's like every county places the candidates based on where they draw the number. I think it is. Every single office places who represents the governor. Governor Abbott was like on page 2. You had a whole bunch of people, and they had to go to page 2. And that's what I meant. You would have known this, because but you voted on the Democrat
I thought
primary.
Abbott was running.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah. So you wouldn't know this because you voted on the
Turn the
Democrat.
page. I hate you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stab you.
Yeah, don't be. See, I finally got it out of him. We're going to stab you. But there is an advantage to you voting Democrat, Davis. All these years, and
I vote both primaries.
It's okay. It's all right. Obviously, you've been
Even
expressing.
in one election, I went.
You've been expressing a lot of favoritism to both teams tonight in more ways than one.
No, I'm even-handed.
But on the Democrat side, there's an advantage to that. You see, you continue your Democrat voting ways, Davey, and we'll see you here for election night, election coverage. After the Lord calls you home, you'll still be voting Democrat. You just make sure you come all the way back here.
I don't think
and do election coverage.
I don't think we do that. I don't think we get away with that anymore down here. Do it that way.
All right. Cameron County
No.
numbers are in. Hidalgo County numbers are not. They will not be until about 9:30, which we had some
If
signature.
we're lucky,
yeah,
because they're swamped, which is a good thing.
Yes, yeah, a lot of people showing up. I started this hour telling you what our elections administrator in Hidalgo County was saying at 7:30, about an hour ago. They still had like 4 locations with 120, 130 people in line.
Can't remember the last time that happened.
Yeah, it's been busy. And come November, when it's the next big race, the midterm. Sorry, guys, we're gonna have to stay here till probably like 10 or so at night.
Why don't you pay me? We're good. Pay me in coin.
I've told the administrators, why can't we devise a system where, you got the polling judge that calls. I got polling judge at all, whatever it is, 50 locations, each one.
They're in charge.
Just chimes in on a text message or some group WhatsApp thing. I got 30 here, and then automatically that data goes on a screen, and you've got a map of all these different sites where you see that Lark is 130 people and South Texas College has 2 people in line. Well, why don't you drive a couple of miles down to South Texas College?
That's a great idea.
And go vote there. That people can check online, and that would distribute the vote evenly. We'd be done fast.
That's a great idea.
But no, it's just because people in Canada, I don't get it. Why does everybody have to vote at Lark? Why? Like, because they want to be seen. They want to be.
Food is better for the Democrats.
I guess. Like,
right?
why? Like really? That's why you're voting? All the candidates are out there.
No.
Is there a Botana there for only for Democrats?
There's a Gustavo from CNN. He's walking around here. He's probably around here. Might be listening right now. He said, "Hey, can you remind me of the location? Annex." He had a couple of locations, and I told him because he had like 3 or 4 locations that he has worked cycles of elections out here, and there's places that have the grill, hot dogs. They have taquitos. They have fajitas. What are they like?
But no open bar?
Tents. The tents
Oh,
that
the
are out,
tents.
right?
Okay.
They're feeding their people, and you go in, you vote, you got a taquito, or you got some hot dogs or something like that.
And if you
I
voted
told him, I said, look, why don't you like do a food review?
Yeah.
Of the different voting locations. Let's see who has the best fajitas, who has the best.
But they're not
tacos.
going to give you because you only voted orange. Don't you have to give them a sticker? Like, no,
I don't take advantage of it.
That's an idea. All right. Other Cameron County numbers that we were looking at: State Board of Education, place 2. It is Victoria Hinojosa, likely to be the candidate for that. She was very strong in Cameron County.
Well, she might be. I mean, I can't.
But she was at
call
56% in Cameron County.
Yeah, but we can't call it because there's so many other counties that haven't voted, and the Secretary of State's office
But the
is
only 2
lagging a lot.
counties that are stronger.
Yeah, but there are
Cameron
a lot more Republican voters. It might not be a lot because look, we were just talking about Cameron County only having 7,000 early vote.
Yeah.
You might have a county over there that had like 2,000-3,000.
But assuming she prevails and she beats L.J. Francis, the incumbent, then she's going to face off against Thomas Ray.
I believe so, yeah. Thomas Ray,
so
Garcia? I thought it was Garcia.
It is
it like
Garcia.
19 counties or something like that?
19 something.
It just goes up and up.
Well,
and up
it's
and up.
20 for the 13 quarter bill. I think it's 22 for the State Board of
Anyway, it
Education.
goes way north. It gets close to Houston. So I would think that they're the Republican nominee is going to be the default winner.
Because in the general election, you're going to have, close to 200,000 people potentially voting in Hidalgo County. With these kind of numbers, you're going to have 100,000 people potentially voting in Cameron County. And if the party's not doing well and the Republicans don't come out to vote, we lose.
No, we
those
still have
numbers.
that
Well,
issue.
yeah, and that's what happened in 2018.
Wow.
I mean, just look at 2018. And I think that's a really interesting number to look at, because in 2018 we lost the State Board of Education race. We had a guy named Tallahassee running, and he was running against Ruben Cortez. And the only reason, and they're both from Brownsville, and the only reason Tad lost was because Palanca. And the Palanca that happened in 3 counties: Nueces, Cameron, and Hidalgo.
How do you do a Palanca now with electronic voting?
You don't. You don't. You just go. People are going down the ballot. I mean, if you're this
you would know that if
motivated-
he voted on the Republican side, David.
No. Yeah, well.
It's
going to be an interesting race in November, and I'm not making predictions.
You going to stab me again? You want to stab me, don't you?
Oh,
I
you
see.
can
I
only
see that
stab
look in your
somebody.
eye.
You can only do that one time.
Republican State Representative District 37, the nominee again will be the incumbent Jenny Lopez, handily getting all the vote, early vote, almost 70% of the early vote. And let's see, other Cameron County. I mentioned Victoria Hinojosa. In Cameron County, the early vote, she had like 56% of the early vote. But again, it's like 19 counties. The most populous counties are Cameron County and up in the Corpus Christi area. And there's other places that.
It'll be Nueces, Cameron, and Hidalgo, the 3 most
Where does
populous.
Clayburgh, which is Kingsville, fit in?
Just out there. Oh gosh,
Not that many.
I mean, they only had 900 people come out to vote in the Republican.
But that's a Democratic county, isn't it?
No,
If it
I mean, no.
votes?
The majority of the majority of the office holders are Republicans in Clayburgh.
Let's see here. State races. And even, you know what? This might be the time, since we're not going to get the Hidalgo County numbers before 9. There are other races that are very interesting. Congress 23. Congress 23 is Tony Gonzalez, the incumbent. And we know, well, if you've been paying attention to the news, you kind of know
He should not prevail, right?
The fiery scandal that he is involved in right now.
Cute word there.
No, I just.
Yeah, and I mean, these are very, 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 very early numbers right now.
Did you find it?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
numbers. This
What you
is
got?
based on the Secretary of State's website. I should probably.
Oh no, those are not good.
Yeah, so I mean,
Can you click on it? Maybe you can parse it to see if it's in the San Antonio area that's coming, because that would be. I would imagine that's the majority of the vote that's coming in.
But
I can see.
It's been reported, and he has denied, but that he was dating one of his staffers, and they broke up, and she killed herself.
It was
Correct?
awful.
It's,
It was
I mean,
awful.
there's nothing good you can
Set
say
herself
about
on
it.
fire. It was awful.
Yeah, she set herself on fire.
Yeah.
Has
It's all the
had a
small
husband and children, I guess.
No, and I read 2 different. I'm sorry. It's just this scandal has been really weighing on him. There have been calls for him to resign from Congress.
Yeah.
People in Texas, people out of Texas, Republicans have told him to quit, leave the race. The one who almost took him out in the last cycle was YouTuber, a Second Amendment fan, defender,
He's back.
Brandon Herrera. And it was really close last time in the Republican primary. He almost took him out. So that's one that we're watching with great interest. Did you go fish for the Dan Crenshaw?
Yeah, nothing's coming out.
District
They're in
2.
Harris County. Nothing's come out for them. That's U.S. House, U.S. Congress District 2.
That's a
and-
4-man race. Steve Toth has become the darling of the right, the conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
Our buddy, who you'll probably see on the screen here, Michael Burr. There's Michael Burr. There goes Michael Burr.
Is it a 4? I thought it was a 3-person race.
Yeah, well, I don't know who's still in the race, but it is Steve Toth, Dan Crenshaw, and then you got 2 other names on there that have not been mentioned.
What's the beef that some conservatives have with Crenshaw? Because Crenshaw is not a Democrat.
I think the gist of it, Davey, is that Crenshaw is a jerk. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
He has.
Okay, there's lots
it's
of jerks, but
it's gone to his head.
okay.
He has been very disrespectful, very rude, and I don't know. This is just me. Like Michael Berry, our friend and colleague up in Houston, he used to be real close friends with Dan Crenshaw, and there was a parting of the ways. And Dan, it's just like, remember his behavior in the news a few days back when he went to Mexico on a junket with Congress. He came back and he was sidelined where, no, you can't go with us anymore because you hit a little too much, of the
Too much party.
You know, he's too much vironga says too much vironga, right? And his behavior was called into question, and he's just
He's one eye. He's had one eye lost in combat.
He's an American hero. He has sacrificed a lot for our country, but his personal character, his demeanor, it's bad very bad bedside manner as a politician. He's come off as a jerk. He's made enemies. Michael Berry's one of them, who used to be very close with him. He knew his family, knew his kids.
Whoa.
And Michael has been on a tear, saying, you know what, Dan doesn't deserve to go back. It's gone to his head. He doesn't listen. Anti-Trump, criticizing Trump, all the anti-Trump stuff has come back to bite him as well. So we'll see what happens with Dan Crenshaw.
Well,
on this one.
The thing is, Dan Crenshaw, Michael Berry opposed him last cycle too. So this isn't like a new thing for him to go with Steve Todt. But the difference is the new map. Approximately 40% of the new District 2, which is where they're running in, is not familiar with Dan Crenshaw. Never voted for him. And so Steve Todt got the endorsement from Ted Cruz, which is that big deal. And then you didn't have President Trump endorsing at all in that race. And so that could tell you a little bit pretending. And there's
who's endorsed Todt?
Todt, yeah.
His name is Steve Todt. I don't know anything about him.
He's a conservative. He's a state representative out of that area. Yeah. And he's very, very conservative. I mean, he's very much antagonistic towards the establishment in the House. One of those people.
Doesn't like the speaker.
Doesn't like the speaker. The previous one or the current one. Kind of what it is.
The time is coming up on 8:30. Joe, let's pay some bills. Clear whatever you have here at the bottom. We'll continue talking about some of the state races that are interesting to us, some of the national races that are interesting to us as well, and look forward to November, how things are shaping up. We can tell you that Eric Flores is the Republican nominee for Congress 34, handily receiving the early vote, and there's no way whatsoever that anybody could catch us up. So he's going to be 50 plus 1, probably around 60% mark by the time it's done, closer to 60% of the vote. So Eric Flores, Republican, endorsed by President Trump, is the nominee and will be taking on Vicente Chente Gonzalez on the Democrat side in November. It's just one of many interesting races we're watching. I'm sorry we will not be able to, at least in this broadcast, because I want out of here, dude. I want to go shower, eat my barbecue sandwich cold, put it back in the oven, put it back in the microwave, and then go to sleep and come back here at 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning. So Hidalgo County is very busy. And thank you for showing up. A lot of people voting late, long lines. So they'll be reporting Hidalgo County. Go online, look for it. Or Miko, Zach Cantu will be posting as best he can a little bit into the night some of the early vote numbers from Hidalgo County, because we're watching State House 40, State House 41. Some very interesting races in Hidalgo County, but then that likely coming in after 9 o'clock. I'm Sergio Sanchez with Roman Pettis. Roman's been looking at Corpus Christi numbers, Cameron County numbers, the living legend, Davis Rankin in the studio, Joe Salinas, Zach Cantu. Thank you for joining us for Primary Decision 2026 on News Talk 710 KURV and live on YouTube and Facebook.
Join News Talk 710 KURV's Sergio Sanchez on The Sergio Show, Wednesday morning starting at 9 from South Texas College in McAllen, featuring the Council of South Texas Economic Progress reveal of their industrial data system. Learn where industries are coming together and how key sectors are evolving, and why Rio South Texas is emerging as a strategic platform for increasing investment. Get the inside news Wednesday morning starting at 9 on The Sergio Show on 710 KURV, the pulse of Valley business.
Hey, it's Scott Jennings, and I want to tell you how to get 2 free tickets to see Solo Mio in theaters. Now, if you miss romantic comedies that are actually funny and enjoyable for everyone, Solo Mio delivers. Angel Studios, you know those guys. They are making great movies. They have created a rom-com that is light, charming, and refreshingly wholesome. No awkward moments, no eye-rolling, just a genuinely good time at a great movie. This film is set in Italy, and the scenery alone is worth a ticket. It's cinematic and the perfect backdrop for a story about resilience and second chances. Kevin James is in top form. He's funny, he's warm, and surprisingly heartfelt. At a time when the world feels loud and chaotic, it's nice to go to the theater and sit down and enjoy a movie that simply makes you smile. Right now, when you become a premium member of the Angel Guild, you'll get 2 free tickets to see Solo Mio in theaters on February 6th. Bring someone that you love and support entertainment that chooses joy, humor, and heart. Visit angel.com/Scott and join up today. That's angel.com/Scott.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has lots of names for various officials in the Trump administration, including President Trump himself. He has called Mr. Trump, quote, the so-called president for years. But now Jeffries has a new name for those who work for Attorney General Pam Bondi. After Bondi's testimony before a House panel earlier this month, Jeffries declared that those who work under her were, quote, corrupt hacks, saying that those who work at the Justice Department are, quote, partisan, pathetic, pitiful, petulant pettifoggers. To the uninitiated, a pettifogger is defined as an inferior legal practitioner, especially one who deals with petty cases and employs dubious practices. The term pettifogger is archaic. Pettifogging has also shown up at the Capitol before. A senator objected to the use of the word during the 1905 impeachment trial of federal Judge Charles Swain. Chief Justice John Roberts cited the pettifogging reference during President Trump's first impeachment trial in 2020. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Securing America.
During a Monday briefing on Operation Epic Fury in Iran, War Secretary Pete Hegseth paused his description of the military activity now underway to speak directly to American troops.
This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979.
Hegseth added that no one expects things to be easy.
We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day.
While also acknowledging that this is a crucial time period.
History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be: focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable.
The secretary told the troops he and the president have their backs.
You are the best, most powerful, most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen.
And concluded by saying,
Godspeed, warriors, and keep going.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Saving you money, I'm Hillary Barsky. A lot of people are becoming aware of wasting less food, especially when the cost of living keeps going up. If you're trying to reduce your waste footprint, there are apps that can help you cut back on food waste while even saving you some cash, like Too Good To Go, which is a free app that connects you to local restaurants and stores that have leftover food that's sold for a discounted price before they close for the day to the public to avoid food waste. Also, Flash Food is an app that links you to local grocery stores that are selling foods like fruits, vegetables, bread, meats, desserts, and more at a discounted rate. Stores participating in this app may be your local supermarket, grocery, or convenience store looking to avoid throwing out food that is still perfectly good. Food Hero is similar to Flash Food, and there's Olio that focuses on reducing waste by allowing individuals and local businesses to list surplus food for free pickup. Saving you money, Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
Fox News, I'm Tom Rigotti. U.S. Central Command has posted a video updating the target struck in Operation Epic Fury against Iran. Admiral Brad Cooper says the U.S. has struck nearly 2,000 targets, destroying hundreds of ballistic missiles, launchers, and drones.
We continue with 24/7 strikes into Iran from seabed to space and cyberspace.
Cooper says Iran's naval fleet has been crippled. President Trump is threatening to punish allies who refuse to assist the U.S. mission in Iran.
Spain has been very, very uncooperative.
President Trump threatening to stop all trade with Spain after it refused to allow U.S. troops to use its bases for strikes on Iran.
We don't want anything to do with Spain.
Spain, an EU member, reacting almost immediately, saying the U.S. cannot make such a move unilaterally.
That's Fox's Aisha Hosni at the White House. America's listening to Fox News.
Your 710 KURV accurate the forecast. Becoming cloudy tonight. It'll be breezy and remain warm. The low only down to the mid-70s. A mix of clouds and sun. It'll be windy and very warm again on Wednesday. Highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. Thursday and Friday, variably cloudy, windy and very warm. Highs back to the upper 80s and low 90s both days. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission. This is Primary Decision 2026. And now we continue with Sergio Sanchez.
Robin Pettis joining us, Davis Rankin, Zach Cantu, and the mighty Joe Salinas. I had a family member checking in. Hey, Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. Well, compiled by Fox News, Tallarico's at 53% and Crockett at around 46, close to 46%. That's with 45% of the vote being tallied. But it is all over the place. I don't know. That's early vote and 45% of the vote tally. Is it Houston? Is it Dallas? It's not Dallas because there was a
Dallas.
There was a delay in Dallas, right?
So there was a big issue in Dallas,
and that's her hometown, right?
No, that's
Dallas
hers. Yeah, hers.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Jasmine Crockett's from Dallas, and that number on the Democrat side will not be coming in.
It won't be because they had an issue with hundreds of Democrat voters were going to Republicans, and they were able to get a Democrat district judge to be able to delay Not delay, but we'll delay the close.
So what,
yeah,
9 o'clock?
To 9 o'clock. So we're not going to have numbers in that area.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I don't know, remember this, there was an issue with B County and Jim Wells County. And on the Republicans, the Republican B County would always do their election night returns. And then all of a sudden they were doing great. And then Jim Wells would go in, oh, we lost. Oh, darn it. What happened, right? And so after a while, you were like to B County, you know what? We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. And they outweighted Jim Wells. And lo and behold, the Republicans were winning B County. That's the story I heard from the former Republican county chair in B County. That could be happening in a Democrat primary. Wouldn't surprise me.
Well, if the early vote number is not in for the Democrats in the Dallas metro area where Jasmine Crockett likely, you'd expect that's her market. Those are her peeps. There would be a very strong number for early vote. We don't have early vote counted into the 45% that's tallied already. For Dallas, Democrats won't be reporting till 9 o'clock, at least from what we understand based on the delay. It's 53%, Tallarico 46% for Jasmine Crockett. So Dallas could, if the margins are that close, and I have no idea if this is Houston or San Antonio, we just don't. That's just the state Secretary of State's number. Yeah, Jasmine could very, very well overcome that deficit because as soon as Dallas Metro reports where she would expect it to carry and have all the energy there. Well,
there's something happening on the Democrat side, and I know a lot of y'all, a lot of the listeners out there, the Republicans are listening, but we do have some Democrats out there listening. Okay,
and I love you.
And we love each and every you listening.
Yeah. Vote Republican next time.
Well, you don't know. I mean, there's a real interesting happening. You have Tallarico who's doing really well in Cameron. We don't know about Hidalgo. I'm going to assume he's doing well in Hidalgo County. He has the Bolita vote.
Oh, that's where I'm
right.
going to go with that. Thank you for reminding me.
And so you have Cameron County, Tallarico's cleaning butt. You have Nueces County, Tallarico's cleaning butt. You have Clayburgh, Tallarico's cleaning butt. On the Democrat side in South Texas, they're not very populated, but they're populated enough. And that's why you had Tallarico in the valley so darn much, because he's trying to increase his turnout because he knows that in certain areas he's not going to do well because there's a real divide in the Democratic primary. And there are Democrats who have become Democrat socialists. We're seeing it even in the congressional race in 34. And you have people who are more, I guess you could say, traditional Democrats, more your dad's Democrat Party who still want to have control of the future and direction. And so what they're playing a calculating game. They believe that Ken Paxton is going to be the nominee on the Republican side. And they believe that if they nominate Jasmine Crockett, an African-American, pretty much Democrat socialist kind of person, that they can just make her be the boogeyman. She is the new Nancy Pelosi. She's the AOC for Texas.
Yes.
And Ken Paxton, with all his baggage, will beat Jasmine Crockett.
Yes.
But if the Democrats nominate somebody like James Tallarico, who plays to the part, he's a younger, better version of that Robert Francis O'Rourke, the guy who calls himself Beta.
Yeah, fake Mexican. Yeah.
Right, there you go. And so they're playing a game. They're playing a strategic game. And if Tallarico's able to win this somehow, which I don't expect, people really believe that Tallarico's going to win. They believe that. I'm sorry, that they believe Jasmine Crockett's going to win. I apologize. Jasmine's going to win. If Tallarico wins the nomination, we're gonna have a problem. And I'm being very serious, y'all. I mean, I may some of my candidates didn't win tonight. That's fine. It happens. But it doesn't mean that I don't have some knowledge. And if we saw the beta wave where Senator Cruz barely won that race, and it would have been Balaka, but you could have seen a lot of people say, you know what, I'm not going to vote for Senator Cruz. I'll vote for other Republican, but I'm not going to vote for Senator Cruz. What's going to happen in this situation when you have somebody like Ken Paxton with that baggage?
Okay, that's fair.
We're in problems.
Yeah, I understand.
And so you wanted me to talk about
Tallarico's as the more attractive on that one.
I mean,
play the middle of the road.
Davis is out of the room, so we don't use that word.
Yeah.
But
look, for idiots like Davis. That's what you want to say.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. He's your friend.
Davey, I love you.
There
he is. He's coming back. Now he's holding his ears. His ears are burning. So the communist in 34.
34 is just so fascinating. You have Vicente Chento Gonzalez, who likes to portray himself as a moderate, and he's running against a Democrat socialist. And the Democrat socialist is getting 39% in Nueces County. Wow. In Nueces County. Now, it's not a lot of voters. Only 14,000 total votes in there. More
14,000 total in the race between these two, or 14,000 for the communists?
No, in these races. For these two, there was only 14,000 people that voted. But if you compare that to
And almost
how many
40% of
voted
that
in the Democrat side, on the Republican side, I'm going to have to scroll up. So I'm going to lose it, but I'll somehow I'll scroll up if it lets me go.
With almost 40% of the vote that was Nueces County, you said, right?
Nueces County.
Democrat Congress 34, almost 39%.
And they had more people voting
Was
than the Republican
this Etienne leftist socialist communist guy. It got almost 40% of the vote. Down here, about the same, right? You said about 30 some odd percent.
35%.
That's crazy. 37% versus
37. You're right.
Versus Chente Gonzalez. That's crazy.
It's nuts. And the thing is, you have in 34 in Nueces County, again, doesn't include all of Nueces County, there were fewer people that voted in the Republican primary than the Democrat primary. So is this going to, now that we know Eric is going to be the nominee, the question is, and this was the calculus done by DC, establishment people. They made the calculus. We're going to support Eric Flores because he is a former Democrat that can get Democrat voters. I'm not sure it's going to work, but hey, I was wrong on the Myra race. It is what it is. But I still think there's a point to be made. Is he going to be able to get those kinds of voters if the kind of voters that Chent is trying to get on the Democrat side are the same kind of voters that he's trying to get on the Republican side for him, if that makes any sense?
Nope.
Okay, let me repeat it. I think I lost you. Chentes wants to play himself as a moderate. He's not. He's leftist. He's liberal. If Eric is going to play himself as I'm a former Democrat, I saw the light, I'm going to vote this way, come on over to me, you're going to have two supposed moderates running against each other. What's going to happen? Is that going to galvanize the base on the Democrat side or the Republican side? We don't know. But if the Democrats nominate James Talarico, that is going to dictate who wins 34. And also you have the Trump factor and some of the Iran stuff, the affordability issues.
The energy coming up from the Democrats right now. That is a wave that they're going to have to guard against. Bobby Pulido. I should have asked earlier. The Bobby Pulido effect.
Yeah.
You have a populist, a newcomer, and I say this with all respect, know nothing, because that's what he is on politics. I mean, he's straddling the fence. He's a musician, and great in what he does. I'm sure. I'm not a big fan of that type of music, but Bobby Pulido is a brand. Bobby Pulido, like Trump is a brand. Bobby Pulido is a brand, and it's just the populist vote, and him doing a few concerts here and there for Chente Gonzalez.
He'll do a lot more than
doing a concert for Henry, doing a concert for Talarico, whatever, just whoever it is, you take that brand of Bobby Pulido and you throw him across the state and the region to do concerts for whoever's running on the Democrat side in West Texas, in San Antonio against the De La Cruz guy. We haven't even looked at the De La Cruz thing up in San Antonio, the brother of Monica De La Cruz. That brand they can hitch a lot of wagons to that brand and bring a lot more energy to the Democrats come November for victory.
So for people who don't follow Tejano music, or for people who don't, that's going to be it's a name that people know by definition, and they trust them.
Not only here, Davey, but where you're going, it's known in Texas, in the Tejano community, in San Antonio, and West Texas.
Well, it's Mexican Americans.
In Houston, he could sing and dance and have concerts, and his coattails would be bigger than Greg Abbott's, bigger than any state politician to bring him in.
That he's doesn't have a defined. I've not listened to him, but the fact you're saying he doesn't have a defined political presence. He's not right wing. We're not sure what he is, but he can play. He's a handsome. I saw women go. He's a handsome guy. His father is
Robert Pulido.
Roberto Pulido. Legendary in their sphere, which is a big sphere.
His uncle, his tío, was a county judge, Eloy Pulido, right? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
what is it that you said about Eric Flores, or that you got all shivery and quivery? He's so beautiful.
See, I don't think
I don't remember that.
I know you're trying to avoid saying the same thing about Bobby Pulido.
So, you can stereotype. Don't look at me that way.
I'm looking at you because I'm like.
You can stereotype all I got to see is as being, but I'm not sure where I'm going with this. But to the extent they live in the Spanish music world, and listen to Spanish music, Mexican Spanish
will bring
music,
voters to the poll who have never voted before.
They'll know who he is, and the Smiths won't know anything about it because they don't listen to that, and it's going to where did this come from? It could be that way.
And no, I am not saying anything that is not known to them. That is their strategy. They've done it in the primary. They've had those get together.
It's not racist. It's not. It's just this. This is who we are. It's a very shrewd use of.
And that's a brand that they can take all the way to the victory line and bring a lot of wagons with them and take them, push them over the hill.
So if George Strait, the country singer, were to run, it'd be the same phenomenon within country music circles.
Yes.
Well, I think the Spanish stuff is below the radar. I don't think we're going to see that poll very well because I don't think
it may take George Strait to do a counter concert on behalf of Monica de la Cruz, on behalf of Eric Flores, on behalf of Tano Tijerina, who we have not spoken at all about tonight. Tano Tijerina in Congress 28 against Eric. It may take him to do concerts to bring the Republican vote out.
This has the potential to be a phenomenon that the regular press, regular media, because it's primarily, I guess, Anglo, just doesn't see. They're not acquainted with it. They don't know, and they're going to find out. Or are we just seeing it because we live here and our sister stations at Radio United are all Spanish language music? And,
no, that's just
and people can live in English. They
He's
can
a
be
brand.
perfectly acculturated, lived here for 300 years, and they're listening to the Tejano music or they know the name. The names. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, David. I know we're running out of time. You and I have talked about this before, and I know you're heartbroken that might have lost. I'm heartbroken that might have lost because she was the darling of that district, but this is the reality of a well-funded campaign that has money behind it, had the endorsement of Donald Trump, and this is one of those several that got a push because the Donald Trump endorsement doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win, but this one obviously.
I mean, Carlos de la Cruz is not winning right now. He got the Trump endorsement.
That's right. It doesn't necessarily. But it is
in this way. The thing is, it just depends on and this race. It's do you define your opponent? Do you do a good job at defining your opponent? And I think what Eric was able to do was define Myra, and Myra failed to define
herself.
Eric. And no.
Sorry.
Because Eric didn't have to define himself. Eric, I mean, the arguments that needed to be made, I mean, to him is he's a former Biden DOJ prosecutor. He's only voted Republican twice.
And a veteran.
You know, and he's a veteran, yeah.
And endorsed by Donald Trump. So that was a powerful message.
Well, the endorsement by Donald Trump is apparently all he needed to do in 34 to win.
And you throw some mud as well.
Yeah, and she threw some. He did.
Okay.
And he spent over $500,000 of his own money.
And without naming anybody, without saying any names, there will be some people who say, I'm not going to vote for him. I don't like him because I love Myra. I don't like him. Okay, fine. Okay. But then we'll say we'll vote for the Democrat. And I've told Davis this, which by the way, he's in the doghouse because Shan is disappointed in him that he voted in the Democrat primary again.
He's in the he's in the jailhouse now.
They will refuse to vote for him because they don't like him, but might vote on the Democrat side. We're at a time now where there's like one vote majority in the U.S. House. I don't want it flipping to the other side because it means Trump loses over the next 2 years. It's going to be nothing but a circus.
You'll hear that message.
Impeachment circus and committee assignments for key committees up in Washington if you give them the power. That's why I would never do that. That's for me, but there might be people that say
if look, I don't know. Chente has flirted with the idea. You know, if you listen to some of the bloggers over in Cameron County, Elrond Run, your favorite, you know, there were rumors that he was considering flipping parties, switching parties, running as a Republican.
Who's this?
Elrond Run. I think you're one of the blogs you like to read. Let's read.
Yeah. Still running? Is he still running?
Yeah, he's still running. And so there were these rumors that are out there, right? You're going to see potentially, depending on what the margins are in the state house and the state senate, and depending on what happens in June with the U.S. Supreme Court making their ruling on Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. If they do that, Todd Hunter and a couple other senior state house members have already indicated they're going to redistrict Congress again in the next session. They're going to redistrict state house and they're going to redistrict state senate.
They're not going to have the votes after this election.
They may or may not.
The Democrats are going to they're not going to prevail. They're not going to organize the House and Senate, but they're going to get close enough to cause some fits.
Right, potentially.
Joe, could you do me a favor? You're clear of inventory, right? We've got about 7 minutes left. Watch the phone line real quick. See if the phone line is on. Eric Flores might be checking in just for a comment real quick, 3 or 4 minutes. He'll be calling the hotline for the station. If he checks in, just bring him on the air. It is for Republicans in Cameron County. Their chairman might be Jim Burschbach because he's in the lead. He has about 53%, 53% of the vote. For Republicans in Cameron County, the nominee for State House 37 is the incumbent, Jenny Lopez, handily getting almost 70% of the early vote. So that would be the trend. So Kristen Leckie got only 30%. And other key races that
on the Democrat side,
Democrat
side, you had county judge. That's more than likely going to go into runoff.
Yeah.
There's actually another race that's going to go into a runoff
with Eddie. I'm sorry,
with Eddie Trevino and
Eddie
Steve Guerra.
Trevino got what you saw 44%,
45. Yeah.
And then Steve Guerra was around 37% of the vote, and it was the former sheriff Eric, right?
Getting third place, being the spoiler, the stalking horse,
double
whatever.
digits, being the spoiler.
Then you're gonna have a runoff in County Commissioner Precinct 2. That race is an incumbent Joey Lopez. He's gonna have a runoff against Joseph Lucio, again the nephew of State Senator.
Is that Lopez of Lopez Supermarket?
Yes,
okay.
that fame. And so you're gonna have a runoff there. You're gonna have a runoff in the 107, which is State Judicial Judge. You're going to have a runoff. And the reason that matters, we do have a Republican in that race. And they're going to have a runoff. A lot of people had predicted that Erin Hernandez, the daughter of former county commissioner Ernie Hernandez, was going to get into a runoff because she's a female. We're working really hard. But it might be a runoff between Chuy Garcia and Noe Garza, the husband of current State District Judge Adela Garza Kowalski.
By the way, he's doing this without notes, listeners.
Yeah.
State Board of Education. It's a very big swath of the Coastal Bend. The most populous areas are here in Brownsville, Cameron County, and Corpus Christi. In this area, in the Cameron County area, it is the wife of Republican Senator Adam Hinojosa, Victoria Hinojosa, who at the outset had about 56% of the vote around here. In Nueces County, she also had the majority of the vote up there. So that was the early trend, was maybe LJ Francis from State Board of Education District 2 might be sent home, the incumbent. And the new candidate for the Republicans, likely Victoria Hinojosa, if she keeps above 50%.
And
all
Francis's victory was I guess not looked for. It was
always a Democrat.
Always a Democrat, and then he squeaked through.
Yeah, he squeaked through. Yeah.
And now the Democrat who wants to succeed him is from McAllen, Thomas Garcia. I'm supposed to know.
No way. You voted for him probably, right?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I hate you too.
You're gonna stab him? You're gonna stab him?
But the question I have is who's going to have the funding? Because that seems to me to be as much of a
I expect her to have funding.
Unless it's just straight lever vote, it's going to be party ID and there will be issues. I mean, Thomas is going to raise issues. There are issues to be discussed. It's just getting people's attention. How do you do that when there's so many other races?
Her husband is a state senator, has a lot of money in his war chest. He'll be able to fund her if she needs to, and if he needs to replenish his race and be able to run for re-election. Well,
this will be this involves what are we going to teach our children?
Right.
Up and down. Well, whatever it is. I'm going to stop right now.
47% of the vote in Texas has come in for the U.S. Senator race.
On the Republican side,
on the Republican side, 47% has come in. Okay. It is John Cornyn north of 43%, Ken Paxton at 40%, and 13% for Wesley Hunt.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's the way it's distributed right now.
Look at the Democrat side. It's 49-49.
That's not
really
49-49. That's what they're on the Democrat side. And because there's a guy that's in third place, this guy, he's gaining 1%.
And I don't know if
the Talarico boy
Dallas
wasn't
praying. Supposed to.
And Dallas has not reported yet. So if Talarico, that might be just enough for be able to get James Talarico.
You want to call it, Freddie? Dave, you want to call it? You want to call it?
Justine.
It'll be Crockett. If Dallas hasn't reported, it'll be Crockett.
They haven't reported because they're closed until
they're
still voting until 9.
That should be a very vote-heavy place for her.
Wow.
And then she could, depending on who's the Republican, if it's Talarico.
Well, I don't know which markets are reporting for the Republicans. We just know that Cornyn is in the lead.
If Paxton's
right now, 40.
I mean, if it's South Texas, I expected him to be in the lead. I mean, people are very loyal to him. He's done good,
Ultimately, the listener has to decide what they're for, what they believe, what they're for. Make a vote on that basis, and not we're gaming it,
Davis,
right?
Davis, were these the questions that you asked yourself before you walked into the Democrat primary and voted Democratic?
They were very kind to me, unlike you people.
It's not the first time you voted Democrat primary.
I got through voting. I said, "Where's the beer?" Because we like beer in South Texas. Well, it's close to that restaurant, and I offered to go get them. And they said no. I don't know if it's illegal to vote in the polling place. I don't know. But also, we didn't really care. But
I look forward to you coming and
the
visiting.
way we do politics, well, she's going to be. I would want to know how is Paxton going to handle her, right? I'm not sure anybody has been in the Republicans. The incumbent has been running some nasty ads or saying nasty things. Not to say they're not true or false, but they haven't done it together. They haven't been on stage together. So what are they going to do when she gets up in his face? If it's Paxton, how is he going to handle that? She's not afraid of anything. Apparently, that doesn't mean I like her politics, but I'm just saying he's not. And she's gonna wherever there's a soft spot, she's gonna be poking at that and poking at that.
It's way No, I understand.
And we're way too
But
early to know
yes,
how
sir.
all
It's
that's
way too
going to be.
early. It's way too early.
We have the runoff in when is the runoff?
May
April?
28th. May 28th.
But there's also another vote in May, right?
Yeah,
There's-
In early May, there's local election, like in McAllen, the one that will make a lot of noise here very soon.
South
is-
Texas College.
No, it's McAllen ISD, $330 million bond issue. That one is going to hit the poop. That
And
poop's going to
Edinburgh
hit the
has
fan
one
here
too,
pretty
right?
soon. So
No,
all
sure.
these bonds are going to hit,
Mhm.
and that's a May vote. Late May, on the 28th, I think, is the runoff for the primary, Republican
Getting
and
people's
Democrat.
attention for this is like it's going to be really hard.
The thing is that on the Democrat side, she will clear it tonight. She will be the nominee. If Dallas is not voted, Jasmine Crockett will be the Democrat nominee for U.S. Senate. There will be a runoff on the Republican side, and the way things look right now, John Cornyn seems like he's going to be okay because if he gets the majority of vote tonight, that's it. It might be because Wesley Hunt is only at like at 11, 10%.
I think
he was the
that was another case that happened where people were defining him.
Yeah.
I mean, they defined him so and he was doing okay in January, and they just defined him with those negative attacks.
Roman, thank you for showing up. Miko, Zach Cantu, thank you, brother, for all the work that you're doing. He's posting as much as he can online. He's got all the state stuff. You're just going to have to check online for all the state stuff. And Hidalgo County coming up in a few minutes. Thank you, Joe Salinas. Thank you, Davis Rankin. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Join us on the morning news tomorrow, 6:30-ish, and we'll try to give you some numbers.
History is unfolding, and you're listening to it